Mr. Tinubu, Michael, sequel to the happenings in River State, Fubara seems to be winning big. We have seen so many criticisms against what the president have done. Well, the last came from Goodluck Jonathan, who accused Judicial of sleeping, pretending to be sleeping anyway. And again, for the first time, we have seen the lives of the Nobel laureate talking about Soyinka, criticizing Tinubu for this. And the Nigerian Bar Association is telling Tinubu reverse this automatically. I think this is a big win for Fubara, perhaps in the court of public opinion.
What the Nigerian Bar Association is trying to say is to save Mr. President from imminent, collapse. Yes, government collapse, or push down his government completely. Something that can destroy his government completely, maybe possibly to save Mr. President's face in this regard. If you look at it, it's just suggestive that maybe through the Attorney General of the Federation or the NJC or the Chief Justice of the Federation, they should maybe send a delegate to Fubara or somehow let them appeal that Supreme Court judgment. That will ease every calamity the president has brought upon himself currently.
Now, to further this conversation, as I just mentioned that Fubara has won big in the court of public opinion, SERAP, Social Economic Right and Accountability Project, drag federal government to court. Tinubu, the sole administrator, asking court to reverse the situation. This is another public opinion that challenged the legitimacy of what Tinubu have done. We have seen series of individuals going against him. Look at Tinubu is alone in this. On this.
Of course, he is going to be alone because from what we are getting, the vice president is secretly backing Fubara currently now, having rendered that office currently useless. We are not seeing the vice president again. But from what we are getting, they are the brain behind the massive support Fubara is getting already. The president actually grooved, but I met Tinubu actually grooved, and you can see what the northern leaders are already saying, that they don't want to see Sheyi anywhere around northern part of the country. Again, that he has become an embarrassment to the northerners, who goes from one state to another sharing cooked rice to people. So what is he trying to, what message is he trying to, pass to northerners? Maybe possibly to tell the whole world, that they are more hungry than any other region. They are more poor, that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu have destroyed the entire north, and that is why he moved from one place to another sharing cooked rice. Coming from that block, actually, you will observe that the Tinubu's political structure, both in the north and in the south and in the west, is somehow very, 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 very shaky now. All the eminent voices in Nigeria, no one is giving him a voice. So in the public, like you said, in the court of the public opinion, I think like Wike will look at it and say, 2-0 and more goals are still coming. Well, I can tell you now, the Fubara has given federal government, Wike, and all the rest of them close to 5-0 currently now, and they've not been able to score one.
Now let me bring in the angle of Jonathan. Jonathan drew from Indian adage, saying that if somebody is sleeping, the person is easy to wake. That when somebody pretends to be sleeping, that it's difficult to wake up that person. And he was talking about the judiciary, that they are manipulating judgments. And he blasted Tinubu, blasted Wike as people who are manipulating judgment. This is another pure win for Fubara in the court of public opinion. And this shows that Wike have not been listening to Jonathan.
Yeah, no, let me tell you very clearly, I know, you don't need to, we know the role President Jonathan, my sister, played to make Wike governor in Rivers State. We know how loyalty he was then, but just look at it from that angle. The only problem is not about Wike's, the Ijon nation, of course, which is the extraction of the former vice president, whom I love, good luck, Jonathan Ebele, 24 hours, I love him. And it has become very clear that he would have been one of the best president Nigeria ever have, from what we are seeing now. Unfortunately, Erufai, Atiku, them and the rest of them, the Northerners ganged up and look at the mess they have brought every Nigerian into now. So Jonathan still commands respect here in Nigeria, and of course outside the world. Anywhere he goes, he commands influence, and he's an a job man, and he cannot sit down there and watch a 1 week being powered by Fulani agenda and Arab Yorubas coming out to say that a just a minority of the minority. There was no bomb blast. You see, I think Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as I can always say, need to understand the game he has actually played into. Whether it is deliberate, or just like what good Lord Jonathan said, that somebody that is pretending to be sleeping knows that he's not sleeping, So for him to wake him, that you're already trying to wake him, but he pretends he will not go deeper. But somebody that is already sleeping, when he wakes him, he wake up. What does it tell you? That the Nigerian leadership under Bola Ahmed Tinubu APC Fulani Lord government is pretending to be sleeping while Nigeria is being destroyed on a daily basis.
Now let us bring in the angle of the Nobel laureate talking about Professor Soyinka, who said the other time that he waited on the Tinubu clock 1 year in office before he started criticism. After that 1 year, he kept mum up to now. But surprisingly, he came out to ask Mr. President, if for any reason what you did is supported by law, it means our laws need to be reshuffled.
And there's not a need to be diplomatic about this, Soyinka. I used to have a deep respect for him in the past, not anymore. And I can't celebrate him like the way I celebrated him a few years ago. Many years ago. And the only respect I see want to leave for maybe 1% or 2% for Soyinka was his stand on Biafra as at that time, or possibly even till now, if he didn't want to change as usual. You understand? But that's by the way. With this 1 year, 2 years, 3 years of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, and this what he's saying now, what looks like he's been forced, because a lot of people were saying, "Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?" Bola, what are you saying? Before he now came out and said, that he was under pressure, or like he was under, he was constrained by the public quest to seek his opinion on this. And of course, that would have dwarfed more of his image within the Nigerian public image. But thank God he was able to muster courage. And of course, the relationship between him and Jonathan. How the Amechi, then Jonathan used Lobururete and Amechi and of the destabilized governors forum to an extent that he tried to call Jonathan as at that time Nebuchadnezzar. But he has not come out to criticize the damaging policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We see the way things went in Rivers State, where the explosions has already started taking place.
Now let's look at another area of public opinion. This time around, coming from NBA, the almighty NBA, Nigerian Bar Association. The first time they told Tinubu, what you did is not supported by law. That if this is allowed to stay, it will amount to a situation where rule of law would be a mere rhetoric.
We are looking at
a mere figure of speech.
Yeah, we are looking at a situation where a northern president is going to remove a Yoruba man in Lagos State here and plant an Hausa man as owner of Lagos State. I think that will send a serious signal to the Yoruba nation. A lot of them are not happy with what is playing out, but the chief, the Minister of Justice himself, has come to defend the calamity, but they don't know that everything that happened has been taken care of. It's unfortunately that whether it is under wicked influence or whatever he tends to achieve, or he just is interested in taking the resources or the money that is coming from that state, he's going to use it to do one or two things, or he needed money from that state, and the only thing he can do is to do the same thing he did when he came into power and announced removal of subsidy that collapsed everything that has to do with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think that is the reason why Shetima is already running away from him anyway, But if you look at it very well, Fubara did not commit any offense in that regard. I think he was trying to play along. But I can tell you now here, Bola Ahmed Tinubu have saying that everybody is condemning that action. I think they want to reduce it. And thank God for the NBA president who offered a solution. If he cares to listen.
No, he said yesterday, he said Tinubu should reverse this.
Reversing is, to just save his face and save his image, or he can ask Fubara, and do the magomago and redo the magomago they did in the Supreme Court.
He said when he saw the administrator taking oath of office, he said he was surprised because there is no provision for the oath of office and everything is illegal.
You know, I said it before now, you know, that whoever that's wearing that shoe in Asurok, that shoe does not belong to him. And whoever that is carrying injustice will have nothing to offer than injustice. He's carrying injustice already. He offers injustice. Another factor is this, you know, when injustice becomes a law, resistance becomes a way.
Okay, now, Mr. Chinedu, we are taking attention to bombing here and there in Rivers State. About 5 days or more after the state of emergency in Rivers State, we are seeing yet another bombing of critical federal government infrastructure. This time around, a pipeline, gas pipeline operated by LNG, liquefied natural gas, under Nigerian federal government.
Of course, you should send Wike to go and start a amnesty process there in Niger Delta. Immediate effect. There's no time. He has collapsed what Musa, you know, worked for, bringing amnesty in that region. You know, but this is just a starting point. You know, I can tell you what is going to come in a few days from now. I think what the president is trying to do is to reduce. I think the National Assembly is saying, okay, from what they are seeing now, you know, Wike cannot go to there and start begging for amnesty and start begging, and president cannot go there and start. So it is purely medicine after death. So what the National Assembly are trying to do now, having suddenly, you know, seeing that they have collapsed the system already, or the system is collapsing, they want to reduce it from 3 months now, 6 months now to 3 months. That's what we are already hearing.
Now let me bring this angle, because according to Vanguard, unconfirmed report having that militants already regrouping to carry out coordinated attack on critical oil infrastructure.
What we're talking about, you know, we're talking about 500,000 pipelines in Niger Delta. 500,000 pipelines. How many soldiers do they have? How many navy do they have? And as they are laying those pipelines, those guys knows what they want to do, and they have their agents everywhere. So how can they man the one in Delta State, man the one in Abia State, man the one in Imo State, man the one in Akwa Ibom State, man the one in Bayelsa State, man the one in Ondo? Well, how are they going to achieve that? They are not going to achieve anything. Wike was just deceiving Parliament, Tinubu, and unfortunately, he has fell for that trap, and he's going to lose very, very soon. By the time he will realize it, like they're telling him, you don't play with, you don't know why Shetima has run away from Abuja. Nowhere to be found. The vice president is nowhere to be found. You don't know why. The silence of the Northerners on the position of the vice president currently now, it tells a lot of stories.
Okay, now let me bring this angle, because there is a school of thought that believe that those who want to justify the state of emergency and perhaps to prolong it, don't forget that the president, while declaring that state of emergency, they said that for initial 6 months. So there is a school of thought that says that those who want this to justify the state of emergency, maybe they want to turn around to sabotage federal government critical infrastructure.
Of course, that is not correct. I can tell you, if he had, you see, I think they were explaining the process that how we get to a party. Okay, look at the administrator now, Ibas. He said that Fubara is not rebuilding the National Assembly members 80% completion. The man was surprised yesterday. I mean, the local administrator, the army man, the
army man.
Yes, you understand. He was surprised to see that the National Assembly was, you know, he said, he was surprised. He said, what is all this? I think the man is even tired, because the pressure is going to come on him now. And all of a sudden, they released the federal allocation that he couldn't give to Fubara. Tinubu was ready on the shaky ground in Rivers State currently now. Wike ignited. After inviting Pandev to a meeting, telling them, okay, Pandev, go and make peace, make sure that this is settled. In less than 24 hours, Wike issued a threat to the entire Ijaw nation. And the president did not call Wike to order. All of a sudden, you turn back again and declare state of emergency. Not only that, you suspended a democratically elected government like you. It is never done. This is tyrannical.
Now, there's other school of thought,
and it's going to backfire. And that's what they see. What they are seeing, the bombing of the pipelines is going to come, and it's a sign of protest. Nobody will say sabotage. I don't want to hear press. Nigerian media say sabotage. Now, protest, now the gap also.
So that is their own form of protest.
Of course. Can you go there now? Send Wike, or send all of them, let them go and do amnesty there for the second time and see how it's going to go. And if they're going to do amnesty there, make sure that it is Wike that is going to lead the amnesty for whatever that's going on currently now as a result of illegality. You can see Fubara, surfacing in River State, Port Harcourt yesterday. You can see the flow, you can see the crowd, you can see the jubilation, you can see the respect. You can see
who River State was with him in that church service?
I can tell you a lot of government party loyalists were out there, whether statesmen, friends and well-wishers. Not only that, the crowd too.
But let me bring this angle, Mr. Chinedu, because just after seeing what happened in River State, APC is already issuing state of emergency threat to Osun and Kano. On one hand, Mr. Chinedu, we saw the APC national chairman threatening Osun that Tinubu should declare state of emergency. In Kano, we are seeing a similar threat. It looks as if this is a state grab. But the president is denying that he's not out to grab things.
No, let me tell you, that is when you surround yourself with incompetence. That's what you get.
So it looks as if the president is out to grab things.
The grabbing now is that the information, you see, he want to practice exactly how he governed Lagos at that national level.
Subjugation.
Yes, the dictation. Baba Sobe agenda, he can't work at the national level. Look at the way he even without following the law, he removed somebody that was constitutionally, removed, and he illegally imposed Obasa. You understand? So he has taken that agenda with all his Lagos boys who are already advising him. Okay, now the whole thing is done. Be like this now. Be ready to back. That's what they're saying. But it's likely that Bola Ahmed Tinubu might be the last president of Nigeria from what is going on, because by the time he begins to tell you that we cannot win this thing, this is not what he is not wrongly advised, and those who are advising him wrongly are already out to bring him down. There is fear that the PDP elements in APC are the one who want to make sure they bring him down completely and be able to have that space to take over power again from the APC government, having the northern backing. Everybody is silent, So if it has gone to that level that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has become a confused person, and this is the person they said the Yorubas went to school, they're sophisticated, they're going to provide this.
Sorry, let me jump in here, because there's a school of thought that believes that the reason the president declared that state of emergency was because Fubara was committed to complying and carrying out the Supreme Court order, and that in what looked like the presidency script failing, he now jumping to abruptly come in with the state of emergency, because their thought was that when the Supreme Court give judgment, Fubara would say are not obeying. Hence they say that he wants to obey, he's already obeying, complying. They now jump in to sack him.
That is an act of, you don't rule Nigeria by emotions. Nigeria should not be run by emotions or what you think. Nigeria should be run by law. And when you feel that you cannot run Nigeria by law, then what you are going to experience, the next thing is what? Resistance. As simple as that. Well, if you look at it very well, and look at Wike, Wike went as far as advising Bola Ahmed Tinubu that the only way now is to handle this thing very well, to avoid busting of pipeline, is that I am going to be in charge. Let him hand over everything to me, and I agree to be run for one term. Then I know boys, I have boys in Niger Delta that nobody is going to bomb anywhere. You can see how Wike has collapsed.
So does it mean he has monopoly of violence?
That's the message now. Is not the information we are talking, the wrong information that was passed to Mr. President. And unfortunately now, Wike cannot be able to protect out of 500,000 pipelines. One. Now. So I'm mandating Bola Ahmed Tinubu that Wike want to destroy your government. The only thing you can do at this point in time is to send Wike to go and make sure he bring amnesty to whatever that is happening in River State currently now. Then let us see how Wikelism is currently now.
This is your brother talking about. When I say Wike, we are not going to child of strength by Igbo meaning.
Yes, of course. Wike, that's the child of strength. Fubara. That's Fubara. Frozo. That's what I'm telling you. So Fubara is one frozen. All are frozen. One Fubara also. Fubara has started seeing road on time. I know that this is the way to go. But the man say, he has started building this, to this level, 80% completion. What's the problem? Why do you hold him? He said he was acting on the information being fed by one de facto president. Yes, on weekend. And that is the game. So at this point now, you can see the build-up of the Ijaw nation currently now. They trying to embrace, whatever ethnic nationality that's surrounding them now. Trying to muscle out more strength, trying to muscle more capacity now. And the Igbos, 100%, are in support of Governor Fubara. Now, I am one of them. I am supporting Fubara.
Now, lastly, before I let you go, Mr. Tinubu Michael, this emergency meeting has been summoned by Ijaw nation to reconsider their position in Nigeria, whether to send it from Nigeria by way of self-determination. What do you make of it?
Yes, it is. Like I told you now, I don't want to mention names, but I tell you that the entire camps in Niger Delta area are being controlled by the Igbos. I'm telling you, go and find out. And they have reconvened. The militants in Niger Delta has reconvened. And that reconvened, meaning, you know what it means. And in the next few days from now, I can tell you that Nigeria will be hitting 400 barrels per day. 400, not even 400,000, 400 barrels. Then when Tinubu will remember that, that Wike is not more powerful than Rivers State, and Wike cannot be more powerful than Rivers people. Now, one man cannot be more powerful than the entire 6 million voters in Rivers State that gave Fubara their mandate.
Do not even forget that even the judges have even told Tinubu himself that he's going to choose between Ijaw and Wike.
Of course, I can tell you now.
The time of decision has come.
Yes, I can tell you that, like I said, it is moving towards liberation of the. Now they have realized that they cannot trust a Northerner, they cannot trust a Yoruba man. In this issue, the only people that had remained their own friend in every regard are Igbos. There's no two ways about it. But unfortunately, this is the secret the Ijaws kept to themselves for a very long time that was exposed by Wike, and they are not happy with that exposure. When Wike came and exposed the Ijaws are not minorities, minority upon minority.
That is like an affront, an insult.
Do you know why? Because if you look at it now, it looks like a secret, that was unveiled. You understand, to the world, and these are the things that the Ijaw people, as a people, have at the back of their mind as secret, respecting. You know why they are shouting, because they know they are minority, in that regard. So the shouting will give them, resistance before anything comes to them. But I can tell you that Wike said that without the Igbos, there's no Ijaws. I don't know how they factored themselves into that. He get to that level that Ijaws is only in Bayelsa State, and that's why you see men like Goodluck Ebele Jonathan coming out to defend the Ijaw nation, and the Ijaw nation is looking at that direction. That of course you have to choose Wike or crude oil. Then let us see how it's going to play, because see, they know that they cannot be able to stand a conventional approach with the federal government the way it is. But I can tell you, what the Ijaw people can do will lead to balkanization of Nigeria, and that will be signal to Biafra restoration.
I think I must say a very big thank you for your time. This is a developing story. We still hope to have you next time on this. But for now, if you are new to this channel, kindly like, share, subscribe, and please do not forget to hit the notification bell. I must say a very big thank you for your time.